Hi guys, it's Emily from Novell Novels and welcome to today's video. This is my May wrap up part 1. Now I'm kind of filming a little bit before the start of the half of the month because technically this month is 31 days and on Monday, which is 16 days, it's Mia's birthday, which is the day this goes live, and on the 15th I'm working, so I had to film a few days early. So I'm probably going to be obviously have less than I would have been half my books. Also, you should see the pile. In a minute, you'll see the pile of books that I'm reading currently. I've got 6 books on the go on today. And yeah, I'm slightly overloaded. The day I'm filming this, I'm up early because I've got, Mia had her best friends for a sleepover last night. I've got to make cookies for a cook-along, part of a tandem read-along that I'm doing for a PR product. And we've got a barbecue later, and Chris is going to buy a cake, and I've just got loads to do, and obviously my loads of books to get done, so just cracking on, getting it done. Let's just smash it. So I've got 6 books on the go, which I'll show you first. The first one is my buddy read for that I'm buddy reading with Gemma from Read a Book Gem. This is Jemima Small versus the Universe. It's a middle grade, I thought it was YA, and I'm struggling with it because to me it's quite fat phobic. It's sort of putting fat weight as a bit of a negative issue, and I've got today, tomorrow and Monday to finish it, but I think I'm going to probably try and finish it tomorrow before work because I just want to get that done because I've got another buddy reading I'm starting on Monday. But yeah, it's about Jemima Small, who's like just about to turn 13. She's like very intelligent, but they're focusing on her weight rather than her intelligence, and I'm finding that a bit of a struggle. So yeah, that's the book. Me and Gemma are not majorly keen on it. I think it's probably going to be like a 3-star, but yeah, this is going to be interesting. A book that I'm going to be finishing today, and I'm again, because it's a chunky book, but I want to get it finished today because today's my sort of, yeah, it's my one day to really get it done. So I'm literally going to smash this one. And this is She Rises, and apparently it's like a LGBTQI plus book, and it's a historical fiction, which is interesting. Louise Fletcher is a young dairymaid on an 18th century Irish farm. Has long been warned of the allure of the sea. It stole her father and brother, but she's offered work as a maid at the naval port of Harwich. She leaps at the chance. I'm just not sure. Luke's has been press ganged into His Majesty's Navy and sent to sea. Aching for the girl he left behind, he must learn fast if he's to survive. Louise and Luke's new worlds are dangerous and exciting, but when they collide, the consequences are astonishing. Not sure what to make of this. I picked it up because Kate Worsley, I thought it was Lucy Worsley, but it's Kate Worsley. Not quite sure what to make of this one. I wonder how that'll go today. A book that I'm screaming about because I got this for a tandem read along and our PR product again, I have to keep telling you. But oh my god, I love this. I've only read 2 days worth. I'm just literally in love with it. It's the 4th in the Nightingale series. And you know how like number 2 and 3 were a bit not as good? This has gone back to being like 5 stars again, and I love Beth, who loves her job. She works at a care home, so she's really caring, really relate to that. And her world got turned upside down when her mum had a stroke, and 2 strokes, and died. And she became a carer, and she's now sharing a house with Eli, who I like. And it's nice to be back in the Nightingale Square. You're actually set in Nightingale Square, which the Winter Garden wasn't as much, and I just love it. I just absolutely love this book. It's brilliant. It's 5 stars. I will be getting through that very, very soon. And I'm realising my pile over there is getting a bit big. And then obviously we've got my Tudor Long book. Bloody love this. Absolutely love it. Tudor Long group that I'm hosting with Jem from Gemma Books and Danny from Danny's Book World. And love this all the way. It's one of the best books ever. It's just Tudor at its best. I can't wait to get to today's pages on this. This book, which I'll be glad when I'm done, to be honest. It's a great book, and I am nearly at the end of the month's worth sort of thing. I've got a bit of a big chunk to read, but it's a bit of a slog, The Mirror and the Light. It's been 3 months of me trying to read this, and I think I might be glad it's over. It is good, but I don't really struggle with Mahusive books like this. This is like 870 odd pages, nearly 900 pages, and I'm really slogging with this, but I'm determined to get it done. So that I read like 100 pages a week in one day. So I read like 100 pages in one day for a week. So that'll be read on Wednesday. That's my Wednesday's my set reading this day. So I'll get that done. And so I don't have, that sort of doesn't feel like a big thing because I only read 100 pages a day like one day, you know what I mean, I'm blabbing, aren't I? Whereas Catherine of Aragon, I read like a chapter per day over like 4 days. I have 4 days of reading a chapter, and it breaks it up nicely. Love it. It doesn't feel too hassly. And then lastly, my page turn book for the page turn buddy read, which I started last night. I will probably, once I think what I'm going to be realistic is, once I finished the Lucy Worsley book, I'm going to crack on with this. That's my goal for today. My goal for the 14th is to read these 2 books, to finish that Lucy Worsley book and get a big chunk of that done so I can finish that tomorrow, because I'm really getting the contemporary feel with the sun. I just can't wait to read. And if I can, I'm going to try and read as much as I can in between all the chaos of today. So those are the books I'm currently reading. Just to let you know, the day that this comes out, I would have be starting Four Winds by Kristen Hannah with the lovely Danny, and I can't wait. I have overloaded myself this month. I am got so much to do. It's just like crap. But now let's go on to the books that I have read. I've read 14 books on the 14th, and like I said, so that's basically a book a day. Most of them are good. I've got 2 3 stars, 4 4 stars, 1 4.5, and then 7 5 stars this month. So I am smashing it again this month. I am really, really enjoying my reading. I'm mood reading a lot more. I'm listening to what my body tells me and what I want. And booktubers picked my books. You all smashed it out of the park. The booktubers that have picked my books so far have done brilliantly. They've either been 5 or 4 stars. Yeah, actually they have. They've either been 5 or 4 stars. I've just got Katie's to read and Gem's to read. So let's see how they do. So TBR Jar did all right. It was 3 stars. This is the Warhorse, which was my TBR Jar pick. I wasn't a massive fan of her last book, which is The East of Sun, and her writing's not for me. This is it's a longish book, and it's sort of about a girl who runs away from Wales and starts to work in Florence Nightingale's nursing home, and then she goes to Crimea, and it's very gory. There's a lot of blood and gore and war scenes in it, and there's some real triggers in this, and like sexual abuse triggers and triggers you don't really want to hear, and yeah, that's going in my get rid of that pile. I just want that gone. Then my fantasy book, which I feel guilty about. Now this one, I'm going to let you guys know that if anyone wants to have this, please let me know, because it's a beautiful book. Chris bought it for my birthday last year, and I thought I would love it. But it's YA, and I didn't kind of love it. It was only 3 stars. It is a very YA fantasy, and if you like fantasy, you may well love this. I think, Gem, you might like it. Are we girls or are we demons? Are we just sort of going to die, or are we going to survive? And it's immersive fantasy, and it's YA immersive fantasy, and it's something I really did struggle with. And it was very gory again, and just not for me. So, yeah, it's a beautiful book. I want someone to have it, but I just didn't love it. But that was it for the books that I didn't enjoy as much though. But now I've got my 4-star books, which again, they're all brilliant. I'm real happy with my books. Looking at Thomas at the moment in the living room. So I've got The Death of Mr. Westray, which was my pick by Alice. Alice, this is one of Ruth Ware's better books. You would love this, Alice. And I think it's quite good. It's one of her good ones. It's not I would say this isn't more of a thriller. I would say this is more of one of her mystery ones, because there isn't very much scary stuff in it. I was quite easy, but I flew through it. Like, the chapters are quite short. It was really easy to read. It's more about the mystery because, like, Harriet Westray receives an unexpected letter telling her she's inherited a substantial bequest from her Cornish grandmother. One problem, Hannah's real grandparents had died more than 20 years ago, but she needs the cash, and so she makes a choice that will change her life forever. It's quite mystery. It's quite exciting. I flew through it. It was a bit of a double history thingy and historical fiction a bit in it, and I really enjoyed this. This is definitely one of her best books, but I won't keep it because I don't keep thrillers. But this was definitely one I would definitely recommend. Out of all of Ruth Ware's books, I've had real hit and miss with them. The Woman in Cabin 10 I didn't like as much. There was another one I didn't like, but that one was brilliant. That one was really good. Definitely recommend that. Then the one I will be keeping, and this is my Nightingale Nurses series. I can't tell you too much about this because obviously it's Nightingales and this is the 4th in the series, but I absolutely loved it. We see this centres more on Dora her old enemy Lucy, and this is Jess, who's also there's Dora from the previous series, from the books in the previous series, is more the centre of this, but we meet new people, and Jess, who's the feisty eldest daughter of an East End family, and Effie, who is Katie, who's in the other book series. Effie is Katie's little sister, and it's their stories, but it's really good. I loved it. I really enjoyed that, and that's my keepy book. This is going to be a giveaway, but I think I'm going to give this to my mum to read, because I think my mum will love this, and this is The House at Riverton. By the way, some of these books, the historical fiction books, are for the historical fiction read-along that Katie at Books and Things is hosting, so I'll link Katie's channel, and I will do the hashtag bit for the historical fiction. This is on a dual timeline, so this is not too bad. This is the summer of 1924. The only witness... a young poet takes his life in the summer of 1924. The only witnesses are sisters Hannah and Emmeline Hartford, and they will never speak to each other again. And then you've got the winter of 1999. Grace Bradley, is 98, one-time housemaid at the House of Riverton, is visited by an young director making a film about the poet's suicide. Ghosts awaken and old memories, long consigned to the dark reaches of Grace's mind, begin to settle back through the cracks. This is good. This is fun. Again, Kate Morton has not let you down. It's an exciting, fun book, and I absolutely loved it. It's 4 stars. It was really good. It's not my favourite. It doesn't beat Lake House, but I did really enjoy it. So Mum's going to have that. And the one that, even though it's 4 stars, I struggled with it. I read this with the lovely Amy from BookTube with Amy, and from Angie's Book Chatter, someone from Paper Knots and Books, that I can't remember your name, sorry, my brain has just died, Simon, who was with BookTube Insight with Simon, and obviously Ange, and this is, I was expecting this to be like 5 stars. It was, because I loved Young Mungo. Young Mungo will probably be one of my favourite books of the year so far, but I struggled with this. It's 4 stars because the writing is amazing. It's a great storyline, but although it's 4 stars, I'm still debating whether it should be a bit lower, because I did struggle with it. There is so many triggers in this. I don't really want to say the triggers in this. They would have been a live show the night before, which hopefully I would have been able to join on Sunday night, and that would be talked more about this book, but there are too many triggers for me. If you want to know the triggers, please feel free to let me know. But this book traumatised me. I had to read it obviously over the first week of the month, and it really, really traumatised me. Like, I found this got me in all the ways, and whereas Young Mungo was very hard-hitting, whereas Shaggy Bane was very hard-hitting, there were lighter moments and there were characters I loved. There weren't as many characters I loved in this, and I found it really hard. Like, I bought this full price, and I'm annoyed at myself because I shouldn't have. This is about Protestant Mungo. I'm busy, kids, I'm filming. And it's just a real struggle. I really struggled. I thought it was going to be about the romance between Young Mungo and James and the sectarian elements, and it was more, and it's got 2 timelines, and it's set in, I think, the 80s, but it was very, very, very hard-hitting, and I really struggled with this. So yeah, I'm gonna let my sister read it. She might like it more. And there was, obviously, the romance between the 2 boys was great, but there was too much hard-hitting stuff. I really did struggle with it. I'm afraid I really didn't. I liked the writing. There were some elements that had light. There were some elements that I thought were great, but I didn't like Young Mungo's sister. I don't know, Mum. I found her really, she's just not gripping enough. Like, she didn't grab me. Young Mungo's character was slightly hard, and it just wasn't as much for me. But again, I can't fault the writing. The writing was amazing, and it did tackle so many hard-hitting things that happened in Glasgow and the area at the time. And obviously the sectarian, the LGBTQI+, the prejudice against them was amazing. The prejudice against the religions, it was just a really bad time. But for me, it was just a real hard-hitting. Like, I would put it down, and I just had to read my cosy books afterwards because it was so hard-hitting. Now I go into my 4.5 star, which was completely the opposite. I picked it up very quickly, and that was Remember Me by Sophie Kinsella. I needed some fun contemporary, and this is a book basically about a lady who has amnesia. She has, at the start of the book, she's at a party, she's young, she's at a nightclub, she's having fun, then she falls over and hits her head. When she wakes up, it's 3 years later, she's perfect, like, her looks are perfect, she's skinnier. Again, that could be a bit of a prejudice, but when you find out a bit more, you find out it's not about the weight stuff. about her teeth have been changed. She's this busy power businesswoman who's upset and lost all her friends, and she's with this rich husband, but all is not what it seems. And is the perfect life what you really think it is? Like 3 years later, her life is completely different. And this is about her journey to find herself and find out who she really is, and what was the perfect life, really, was it? And it was really good. 4.5 stars. Loved it. Contemporary. Not one I'm going to keep, but it was really good fun. Now we go on to my 5 stars, and I've got a Thomas nagging. I'm just filming. So, this is all the fun. Sorry about the noise in the background. So the first one is, out of my 5 stars, is the Walrus Girls. It is set in the 1950s. It's about the Walrus Girls, 2 of their daughters. It's set more on the younger generation, but the older ones are the younger generation, if that makes sense. So it's about Bessie, Claudette, Clementine and Dorothy. So Clementine and Dorothy are Betty's stepdaughters from the first series, from the earlier on in the series. And Bessie and Claudette are the adopted daughters of one of the other ladies, who is Maisie, I think. So they're more centred around the next generation, but we do have lots of links with the first generation. It's a brilliant book. It's exciting. There's a real exciting elements. Elaine Everest never fails to disappoint, and she's amazing. Couldn't wait to pick this up. 5 stars all the way. Absolutely bloody loved it. Now for Angie's booktube choice. Angie's choice for my TBR, and that was Bookworm by Lucy Mangan. 5 stars all the way. You can't fault it. It was absolutely incredible. It is non-fiction. It's about a childhood, about a lady's journey in childhood with books, and there are so many books mentioned in this that I loved growing up. It's reminded me of so many books I want to pick up. This book will be saved for Mia. These are my keepy books. These are just incredible. I absolutely thoroughly love them, and I can't wait to keep them. I just think they're amazing. Then I've got The Love Hypothesis, which is Danny's choice. And I'm already thinking I just need to go on to my other page here because I need to remember something. So these are Danny's choices. And it was science, exciting. These 2 scientists are pretending to be in love. So it's a fake dating romance trope, but it was done brilliantly. I read it with Amy from BookTube with Amy at the start of the month. Olive is a great lead character. She really has had her problems, and she's sort of done this fake dating trope, but it's done so well. And there's again another mystery, and there's a baddie in this. And I guessed who the baddie was pretty early on. And the fake dating romance with Adam, who God, he sounds gorgeous. He really does sound like the fitty, hottie guy that I really would love to date myself. He's intelligent but feisty, a bit of a bad boy with his attitude, and I loved him. I absolutely loved those 2. Yeah, I loved them. Then the next one of my series books. So this is the second in the Comfort Food Cafe series. I'm going to probably read the 3rd actually this month because I need to kind of catch up a bit. I've bought the extra one in the series that was missing. This is a very short book. This was about Becca, who is the sister of the book in the first book, Laura's sister, and Becca's had a really hard time. There are some triggers in this again about some things that have happened. It's a series book, so I won't tell you too much. Comfort Food Cafe, set at Christmas. Yes, I read it in the summer, but it was great fun. Then Jack from Sped Bookjoy's choice, Amari and the Night Brothers. Fantasy, but middle grade fantasy, and I bloody loved this. This was actually a bit more scary than I expected, but everyone knows about this. Amari Peters knows 3 things. Her brother Quentin has gone missing. No one will talk about it. His mysterious job holds the clue. Really loads of twists and turns in this, and the next book in the series is out in September. I'm keeping this. I'm going to reread it. I'm going to get the 2nd book. I bloody loved it. You smashed it, Jack. This was brilliant. And actually, I'm changing my mind about what's going to be my favourite books. I've written down my favourites, and I think I've changed my mind again. Then the 5th book in the Anne's House of Dreams, Anne's series, Anne of Green Gables series, was reread with my Anne along. I loved it. I can't tell you too much about it, but Anne gets the house of her dreams with a guy. If you read the series, you'll know who her guy was. But there are some emotional bits in this. It is set in somewhere different, but we do get Morella back in it. We get characters we love back in it from other books. Anne is at her best. The 4th book was crap. This is brilliant. 5 stars. This is one of my favourites in the whole series, and I loved it. And then lastly, my 5-star book, which I've got to keep because I'm doing baking my cookies out of this, and this is Birdsong, and that's how baking changed our lives. And it's the first part of the book is about their story, about Kitty and Al, father and daughter, who stopped baking to help Kitty's mental health when she has a bit of a breakdown and her mental health struggles and she has really bad anxiety, and how baking starts off as just doing little things and it turned into actually a bakery. Brilliant book, loved it. 5 stars all the way. I'm looking forward to baking today. Thomas is helping me because otherwise, apparently, according to me, I will kill them all off. So, what do you think are going to be my favourites of the month? I wonder. You're probably going to guess from what I just said anyway, that I've changed my mind on them. But yeah, my favourites are going to be Amari and the Night Brothers. Thoroughly love this. Great fun. And The Love Hypothesis by Ellie Hazelwood. I will be getting the next book. I loved it. These are brilliant books. They're so much fun and exciting. So, what has been your favourite books of the month so far? How are you doing with your month? Are you enjoying your books as well? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and not subscribed yet, ring on my ding-a-ling, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.